In StarCraft 2 co-op, there are 60 mutators. These mutators can be divided into 7 categories: vision, economic, environmental, pacing, acrobatic, multitask, and head-on. Vision mutators affect the player's vision. Economic mutators affect the player's economy. Environmental mutators make it difficult to move around the map. Pacing mutators make it slower for the player to do the objective. Acrobatic mutators require players to adjust their playstyles. Multitask mutators require players to be in multiple places at once. And head-on mutators are mutators that the player has to deal with head-on. In this video, we're going to talk about head-on mutators, but not just any head-on mutator. We're going to be talking about the king of head-on mutators, Heroes from the Storm. Heroes will be sent with most attack waves, and after 14 minutes, they will be sent in the order of like 1 weak, 1 medium, 1 strong. Weak means like the first 3, Raynor, Dehaka, Tychus. Medium is Nova, Karax, Zagara. Strong is Zeratul, Artanis, and Kerrigan. And I'll just call them random since you probably won't really pay too much attention to whether it's weak, medium, or strong anyways. Heroes from the Storm doesn't work on minor evacuation or Scythe of Amon, and time stop might change some of the timings. For Vermilion problem, Raynor comes first at 4 minutes and then the timings are random. Heroes, they don't come with drop waves, so if there are many drop waves, the next regular wave will have a lot of heroes. And sometimes you might get like 3 heroes at 8 minutes or something, like right after the lava recedes, and many commanders will not be ready for that. For Mal Warfare, timings are different because Arana's progress varies depending on suppression towers, etc. Raynor comes with the first wave, Dehaka, Tychus, and Karax will come during the second terminal, and then the rest will depend on the progress of the game from there. Expect at least 1 hero per harass wave starting from the third terminal, and that's pretty frequent. Similar for Chain of Ascension, the timings are different because Janara's progress also varies. Heroes come with the harass waves, so they'll come to the center. Raynor comes with the first wave, Dehaka comes at 5 minutes with Tychus, Karax comes with the 7-minute wave unless you trigger the hybrid, and then from there. So they come at their regular timings, so if you memorize the timings or the cutoff points for each hero, you will know who's gonna come. If you don't want to memorize that, just expect at least 1 hero per harass wave starting from after the second hybrid. For Void Thrashing, you can see there are 2 different patterns, and you can see here that pattern B is far more difficult than pattern A. So pattern B is where the first attack wave comes at 4 minutes. At 8 minutes, you get 4 heroes, whereas for pattern A, you kind of split them up. So yeah, this is very, very hard. For Temple of the Past, the side attacks can have at most 1 hero. The bottom left can have up to 6, the main ramp. There will be no heroes from the top right or from the drop pods. Sometimes there's a variation to when they spawn. I really don't know why. This was what I wrote down in my notes from Assembly of Vengeance. Sometimes Dehaka Tychus spawns at 5, but most of the time they spawn at 6:30 with Karax. Sometimes Nova spawns at 8:10, but sometimes she spawns at 9:20. I really don't know why. Here, during the side waves, sometimes Zagara will spawn in the northwest, sometimes the southeast, same with Zeratul. I don't know why. Just know that they will spawn around these times. And then for pattern B, when there's the second Thrasher, Kerrigan will spawn. If it's pattern A, she won't spawn until 18:30. And then in the southeast, one of the weak ones, Tychus, Dehaka, or Raynor, will be there. And if it's like pattern B, there might be 4 heroes from the southwest. So yeah, and then this is a strong wave, 2030. This is where you will fight 5 heroes from the southwest. I'm not sure what happened here. Sometimes it's like 1. I think if it's 1 if you had like 4 here. It's kind of confusing because it's so different. Just know that at the end, you'll get 5 from the bottom left. Be ready for this big one. Usually you will just build lots of buildings to stall them. You won't actually fight them. Missed opportunities, you can get at most 1 hero per harass wave. Since the timings are fixed, I wrote down the heroes that spawn with each wave. So Raynor's first, and then second is the first wave of bots where you get Tychus, and then Dehaka after that. Then at the second wave of bots, we have Carax, then Nova. And then at 10 minutes, there's Zagara. And then here, they're just random. The regular attack waves will have random heroes. The third set of bots, you have Zeratul, followed by Artanis soon after. And then about a minute later, there's Kerrigan. For the fourth and fifth bot waves, there's just one hero per wave. Every attack wave contains a hero. For Void Launch, this is the same as Memorable Boss. You can see these 2 come from the bonus, and then none come from the attack wave. These 4 come from the bonus, and none from the attack wave. Otherwise, the heroes spawn alongside the attack wave. For Rifts to Core Hall, we had it was called Darkest Hour or Injustice League, and then you have Raynor, then Dahaka Tychus, Carax Nova, Zeratul, Zagara, and then Artanis Kerrigan, and then 3, 4, 6. Dead of Night. There are no official heroes from the Storm mutations on Dead of Night, but I did some research and I noticed you get Raynor first, and then at night 2, because nothing came for for a long time, you get 6 heroes in the bottom left at night 2. It's crazy. It's really crazy. And then night 3, they don't spawn with the attack waves. They spawn with just at the beginning of the night. And starting from night 4 and on, they spawn twice during the night. And I'm not really sure why, but like it's already towards the end of the game. Hopefully you don't even get this far. I stopped looking after this because like if you haven't won yet, you're probably gonna die. For Oblivion Express, the heroes don't come with the trains. They only come from the attack waves. So here are the timings for them. This one is right after double trains. So Kerrigan's also really strong, and there are 2 other ones. So it's just like this part is really difficult. For Lock and Load, this is the same as the Thunderdome. And here, some commanders can actually finish the map before 11 minutes. So you really only fight 1 hero. But if you don't, you have to fight 4. And then there's 2, 2, and then a lot here. So hopefully you finish the game quickly. For Part and Parcel, you have Raynor, then you have 3, the next 3, then 2, and then 3. And then towards the late game, there's 6 each wave. It's crazy. It's really hard. For Cradle of Death, you can see my Enter the Nexus timings guide for details. The short version is that they come from the drops and attack waves, and it's hard to know which attack wave or drop they'll come from because it depends on when you finish the first objective. You can kind of manipulate this, and if you want to learn more, check out this guide. This was a lot longer than I thought, so I'm going to split it into several parts. Subscribe if you don't want to miss part 2.